Anyway, it's almost too much for me to comprehend. From where I started, raised in obscurity, in a little small farm community, and now to be here today is pretty awesome for me. So anyway, that's just a little bit about my story. My story is probably more intriguing for me than it is for you, but I wanted to hear it again, so I thought I would just, bore you with it. Anyway, I don't ask you to be impressed today. I'm the one that's impressed from where I came from to have a chance. But that's the American dream, right? Come true. Chance to start from scratch, start from obscurity, start with pennies, start with nothing, and have a chance. Transform your life, change your life, set your goals, and see what you can accomplish. So anyway, that's how I got here, and I'm just delighted that this day has arrived, and I truly want to make it valuable for you. Let's go to work. Here's what I hope you'll find out of this seminar today. For your notes, here's what I hope you'll find. Number one, sincerity. Above all else today, I hope you'll find me sincere. Best place for people to start to communicate sincerity on both sides. I'm sure you're sincere or you wouldn't be here today, right? Spend this kind of money, spend this kind of time, roll up your sleeves today, go to work like I am, and get this message. You've got to be sincere. So I assume you're sincere. Now I want you to see me sincere. But I've got a good note for you to make. Sincerity is not a test of truth. Important note to make. Sincerity is not a test of truth. We must not make the mistake of saying he must be right. He's so sincere. That would be a mistake. And here's why. It's possible to be sincerely wrong. So we don't mistake sincerity for truth, right? Sincerity is only a test of sincerity. Truth has to yet be tested by truth, okay? But hopefully you will find me. And truth. Next, a combination of things I hope you'll find here today. Ideas plus inspiration. Ideas plus inspiration. Ideas, business ideas and social ideas and personal ideas. We all need ideas, right? How to have a good day ideas. How to have a good year ideas. How to have your best year ever ideas. Good health ideas. Personal relationship ideas. How to deal with your family ideas. Sales management ideas, financial freedom for the future ideas. We all need good ideas. So today, I hope you gather up by note and by what you can remember a lot of ideas. I want to share as many with you as I possibly can in the time constraints we have. Today is going to go very rapidly. I used to think a day like this was a long day. Found out it's a pretty short day, but I'm going to go as fast as I can, share with you as many ideas as I possibly can. And here's why. Ideas can be life-changing. Ideas can be life-changing. And sometimes all you need is just one more in a series of good ideas. It's like dialing the numbers into the lock, right? You got 5 or 6 numbers dialed into the lock. The lock still won't come open, but you don't need 5 or 6 more numbers. Maybe you just need one more. And maybe a seminar like this could do it. A sermon could do it. The lyrics from a song could do it. A dialogue from a movie could do it. Conversation with a friend might do it. That one last piece you need, number. Dial it into the lock. That's it. The lock comes open. There's the door for you to walk through. And maybe this seminar today could furnish that for you. One more idea. I know you've come with a lot already. Sometimes we get the impression, I used to have that I only had this much going for me and I needed this much. Usually not true. And I'm sure not true of this audience where I find you today. As well dressed as you look today. As fine as you are sitting here today. It isn't that, you've got this much going for you and you need this much. I would assume you've got this much going for you and maybe all you need is just a few more thoughts, ideas, to furnish you some ways and means, turn your life into the dream you wanted. So, ideas. The seminar's going to be loaded with ideas. I want you to take good notes. But here's what else I hope you'll find here today, and that is inspiration. And who knows the mystery of inspiration? Why some people are inspired and some are not? You were inspired to get here. Some were not. Who knows the mystery of that? I don't know.
A friend of mine, he's a urologist now, used to play a lineman for Ohio State University. He said, Les, let me give you a free rectal. I said, no, buddy, you too motivated. Hope we don't roll like that, huh? My goal before leaving the planet is to reduce the number of kids that are impacted by autism, to find a cure for autism, to work to raise money and to raise awareness, to eradicate it from the planet before I leave here. What's your goal? What's your dream? What is it you want to do with your life? Dr. Joelle Martin said something that I love. She said, what would the world be like if everybody lived their dream? Here's what I found about life. It's not as complicated as I used to make it. I think that life is about dreams and stories. Everything that exists, the world at one time was barren, but everything that exists, hotels, planes, they weren't here. Everything that we see every day, computers, all of the things that we see, someone had a dream. Someone had a dream of a person standing on stage and their voice being amplified so they don't have to scream and yell and could be heard by thousands. Someone had that dream of how to transport us from one place to the other quickly and safely. The clothes you have on, where you're now seated, all came out of somebody's dream. dream the world's greatest achievement? What is your dream? I said that you have something special. I didn't say that just to be kind. I said it because it's true. You are God's chosen vessel. You were chosen, 1 out of 400 million sperm. You have something in you that when you were chosen, when you showed up, there's something in you that if you don't do it, all of us will suffer. Repeat after me, please. Live full, die empty. Let's say it again. Live full, die empty. Dr. Howard Thurman, one of the mentors of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Albert Schweitzer and Mahatma Gandhi, he was a very brilliant writer. He wrote some things that really grabbed me. He wrote, deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment. During the time after receiving 238 radiation seed implants, I was reflecting on his words, and these words kept me up that night. He said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never went after that dream. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those talents. You never used those gifts. And there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever.
I remember the days where no one wanted to listen to me, so I'm always grateful when people do. I don't forget that. And so I spent more of my life a broke person than I have a rich person. And I spent more of my life someone nobody knew than that other people now do know, right? So I'm really grateful for it. It's not something that I take lightly. I don't take your time lightly either. So I have a huge ambition here, which is I'd like this next hour to help change your life. So I've set the bar high. We'll see whether or not we accomplish that, but at least make some kind of a difference in your life. So a couple things about sales I just want to say first. Facts tell, stories sell. And all the people that I know that are the best at influence or teaching influence are great storytellers. Their ability to make a point through a story is better than any fact that they can give you. And what I want to do first, because I want to set this straight because that was a really great introduction, I'd like you to know the person that existed prior to all that stuff Lee said. So I'd like to give you a little bit of hope. Is that good? Say yes. So I am an average, ordinary human being. And I don't like, when I speak, I don't like to be, I used to say I'm below average, but the fact is I don't think that's really true. I actually think everybody's born with giftedness. I think every single human being's born with some natural giftedness. And when you figure out what those gifts are, you use them in the service of other people, you start living a pretty blissful life. And for me, it didn't take very long for me to find out what my gifts were. It's not IQ, it's not that I'm 6'4", I'm not the strongest dude in the world, I'm not the funniest dude in the world, but I am a pretty good communicator and I'm a really good listener. I love being present with people, and one of my gifts is I sincerely care about people. And you ought to be thinking about what your gifts are. It's easy. You look at guys that I coach, if you look at some of the golfers that I coach or the UFC guys, my guy I coached last weekend won, Dominic Cruz, Michael Chandler's another buddy of mine. You look at these people that I work with, they could see their physical gifts. Chandler's got quads that are like this big, right? Or LeBron's 6'8", can jump out of a gym. We know those are the gifts. But what are your gifts? Like if you could take a real inventory of them, I ask high performers, even like you guys, what's your giftedness? And you'd have a hard time telling me because you discount what they are, right? You discount, maybe you're not like for me, we just did an IQ test in my family. I was 4th out of 4 people in my own house, right? That's a true deal. Not that I'm dumb, just I don't have a high IQ. I've been able to identify what my gifts are. I can transfer energy to people. I will outwork your ass, right? I'm intent. Those are gifts. And when you start to leverage your gifts, it doesn't feel like work anymore. So I always had these gifts that were mine. You've got yours. If you'll take an inventory of what they are, you'll be a more wealthy, productive person. I've been able to build a significant 9-figure net worth in my life. I've been able to coach some of the top athletes, entertainers, politicians on the planet, and I'm a goober. So I want you to think, if a goober dude like me can end up doing that stuff, what could you accomplish?
have to say this first. No matter what you hear me say, no matter how I tell my story, no matter what piece of information I lay out in front of you, please tag that with "cause of God." You got to understand that about me. Look, sometimes when I'm talking and I'm sharing, it sounds like I'm talking about myself. But behind every sentence, I want you to say, "cause of God," because I get it. This Brother Ricky Lewis, who is a dear friend of mine, probably one of the most dedicated Qs I've ever met in my life, really. When he presented the idea to me, you know, I got to do a lot to move. I'm pretty busy. But when you hear a person introduce you with no introduction necessary, it's because I've accomplished so much, but it's cause of God, though. You know, look, my life is covered with grace and favor. I'm not a pastor by any stretch of the imagination. I got enough flaws to negate that statement off the top, but my life is favor.
you.